welcome everybody. We're so glad to have you here with us this evening. My name is Nadine and I am from Adveather. And we also have Shree as well, who is
Namaste.
namaste, someone from the local team who is also going to bring his expertise tonight in sharing some more about the whole reason we are here. So perhaps Everest is something that's been on your bucket list for a really long time, or perhaps you saw the notice about this trip happening with Slow and Steady and you thought, oh my gosh, that's such an out there idea. Maybe it's something that you're not sure if you're capable of doing, or it's piqued your interest, but you want to know more to see if it's something that, you would be interested in doing. And so that's why we're here tonight. So whether you're an expert worldwide trekker or you're just kind of looking to tackle something really new, exciting, and big, we welcome you all and we welcome all of your questions. And we're looking forward to diving in to talk about that. So before I hand it over to Shree, one thing I will say is, having worked in the travel industry for the last 12 years and done a number of adventure tours across the world, one thing I really can say from my experiences is that local does matter. So I've gone on trips where it's been guided by a North American in Asia, and it's just not the same as working and traveling with a local team that are excited to share about the place they love, the place they call home, and are able to really do that in an authentic way because of their local expertise. And we've been working with Shree for many years, and just super excited for you guys to meet him and to learn about the trip that you guys are all interested in, the Everest Base Camp Trek, and also to learn a little bit about Shree's company and what they do. And so I think without further ado, Shree, I will hand it over to you and invite you to present to the group, explain a little bit about the trek. I guess one thing I should mention for those of you that are interested in the trek itself, the Everest Base Camp Trek with Slow and Steady is taking place this October 2023. It's October 15th to October 31st. It's a 17 days, 16 night trek, so quite the adventure. And I'm excited to share more about it with you guys. So without further ado, Shree, I'll hand the floor over to you. If you want to just click share at the bottom there, you'll be able to share your presentation.
Good morning in Kathmandu, but good evening there. I'm very happy to share this adventure with you at the moment. My name is Shreehari Thapaliya. You can just call me Shree in short. And I actually founded this trekking team group, or adventure tour operator, in 1991. It's been already nearly 32 years. So I founded it when I was just about 18 years old, when I finished my high school level. Since then, I have been sailing, promoting, and operating Himalayas as my home destinations. So I would like to give you something more about this slide presentation here. About us. Trekking Team Group is a responsible tour operator, founded in 1991. It's certified by Travel Life. We are really sustainability. We are audited by the companies, and we are also member of Family Travel Association, IGLTA, and we are supporter of the code, Travelers Against Plastic, Pack for Purpose, and different initiatives like International Protection Group, TAN, Trekking Agent Association of Nepal, and Nepal Mountain Associations. So I will go a little further. That's a sustainability thing. So since we started our working in the offices, we have green energy in the offices. In the field, we do the same thing. We try to help the local communities. So always encourage our customer to use the local food if possible. So at least get something back to the communities. We always use tea houses or the little hotel that owned by the local families, so that will get back something to them. And we will never employ children under 18 years old. So we are also very strong on that matter. So children protection, animal protection, we don't offer any activities that involve animals. such as no elephant ride in our trips. And even while in a trekking holidays, many companies use animals as a footer, but we don't use that because we think we really don't want to harm any animals while we are running the trekking holidays or operating the trip and making some profit for yourself. So, and second thing, because most of the animals are owned by the one rich family, so we want that money divided into the many different families in the villages. So we only use the footer on that matter and walk on the road. So we really don't offer any trips that include helicopters, trip, or so on, that really destroy the environments and give lots of emission. So we'll go a little further. This is the Everest Base Camp Trek. This is the most famous trek in the world. And also people would like to do it because this is the highest peak of the world. So when you make Everest Base Camp trip, what you see there, you will meet Sherpa people, the most famous people of the world per mountaineer. You will immerse with the culture. You will enjoy the money walls, chotans, and prayer flags. You will follow the footsteps of Tenzing and Hilary. You will stand at the base of Everest Base Camp. You will walk on the world's highest glacier, the Khumbu Glacier, and you will witness the sunset and sunrise over the Everest from Kalapata, the vantage point to see the Mount Everest. Here is another things why trek to ABC. For incredible scenery, cultural immersion, personal achievement, connection to the nature, life-changing experience. Once you come to trek in these areas, this part of the world, after you did this trek, when you come back, your life really won't be the same a lot. This is something that you learn that your life will change forever. And support to the local community, challenge yourself, because Everest Base Camp trip is once in a lifetime experience, and it is also one of the challenging trek. You can always challenge yourself. So I would like to just show you some map here. This is something interesting here. Normally, we will fly to Kathmandu, of course, spend there few nights, 2 nights at least. We're supposed to spend there 2 nights, but because nowadays there is no direct flight to Lukla, so we have to take an optional flight going through Ramechhap. So first night you will arrive in Kathmandu. We will have some programs there, welcome dinner, then fly all the way, drive all the way to Ramechhap, stay there overnight, and fly to Lukla, make all this trek as on the maps. So more I will show you here exactly how things goes. And this is kind of elevation chart. So in high altitude trek, we really believe it, you should not go more than 500 meters a day. So what we try to do is really keep less than 500 meters, but there are 2 days which you go over 500 meters, which is from Tengbuche, going from Tengbuche to Dingbuche, that you go almost 600-meter high there. So that's why we make a 2 days climatize at Dingbuche, and you also do a little bit at Namche Bazaar. We also have a 2 night climatize day here. So this is normally you walk uphill and uphill and uphill, then you go drop down all the way to Lukla. So this is day first. You arrived in Kathmandu airport. We will transfer you from hotel. We will give you a welcome at Kathmandu airport, transfer to the hotel, and in the evening we will have a welcome dinner. This is how we welcome the peoples. This could be one of you there. Day second, the sightseeing day. So early morning after breakfast, we will pack up everything in our bus. Then we head for the sightseeing trip. That could be Shambhunath, Pashupatinath, and Patandarwari Square. This is a combination of 3 heritage sites. Shambhunath is the biggest stupas. Pashupatinath is a Hindu temple, and Patandarwari Square is an ancient palace. So it's a combination of Hinduism, Buddhism, and ancient palace. So after exploring this, we drive all the way to Ramechhap, which is about 130 kilometers and takes about 5 hours, and we spend there overnight. So this is what you will going to see on the second day. This is the Istupa, this is Pashupatinath. This is where you will be also seeing the cremation of dead body, and Patagonia Square. This is day third. This is the adventure day. So we drive just about 1 hour to the airport at the Ramichat, and then after we take a small aircraft in order to Lukla. Lukla is really nice place, and it has amazing air strip. So will fly there, which will takes about 20 minutes. After arriving there, our porters and Sherpas and every other members will meet them there. But your trekking guide will accompany you all the way from Kathmandu. So after meeting the staff, we will have their breakfast. Then we'll head to Phakding. But this day is a pretty easy day. We trek about 3 hours. We don't hike uphill, so just going about 150 meters downhill. So it's quite easy day. This is how we'll be trekking there. This is the scenery of that day. So you'll be walking through the green parts because this is the lower part of the valleys. So you'll have lots of greens there, nice streams, and still the beautiful mountain view. This is the day 4. This is quite adventurous day because you will get to Namche Bazaar on that day, and we have lots of uphill. So you will be walking almost 890-meter ascent on that day. So this is a big day as well. So you will be walking 12 kilometer. And what we do is, because we will spend quite we'll go there a little bit longer, and we climb the height also. So we make a climatized day. The next day we will not be doing anything. We'll just have a day for climatized and exploring around. So Namche Bazaar is the biggest Sherpa village of that region and one of the nicest one. So you will see all the Himalayas around 360 degrees, beautiful village. You meet the Sherpa culture, you meet the people, you feel the thin air already. So it's quite nice there. So this is what Namche Bazaar is. So most of these are hotels and private houses. So this is one side of Namche Bazaar. So you are seeing the Himalayas here, but you will see all other sided. So next day 5, we have a climatized day. This is a day we explore around Thamo and Sengbuti. So what we do early morning after having breakfast, we'll start exploring. We'll go uphill again up to Sengbuti. Sengbuti is a nice viewpoint, which you can see the Everest, and there is also the hotel made by Japanese, the highest hotel in the world. So you see most of the, Everest view from your hotel room as well. So we'll go to that hotel and explore some of the villages close by, like Thamo. So this is few of the picture I will show you. This is how you'll be trekking on this day. So this is just going up to Sengbuti, and these are a few of the sceneries that you will be seeing and exploring. But in the evening, we'll come back to the same hotel because that's just the climatized day to give you lots of, because you will be already in thin air, so your body has to acclimatize, not to have any altitude sickness. So this is the day we have kept for climatized day. Here is the next day. This is day 6. So we will be trekking all the way to Tengbuti. Tengbuti is one of the famous places there. It has a beautiful monasteries, and it has really vantage point to see the Amadablam. Amadablam is the most beautiful mountain of the Himalayas. So we'll be trekking there just about 11 kilometers, about 6 to 7 hours. It has lots of up and down on that day too. So this is what you see. This is the Tengbuti Monastery. So we'll be going there, and this is what you will see, the Amadamlam views and even Everest. And you will see lots of yak crossing your trails because they will be transporting many goods from one place to other place. This is only means of, transportations in the Himalayas. So day 7, you will be trekking to Tengbuti. Tengbuti is a little bit higher. It has really nice villages there. So you'll be trekking through the Chotan. So little stupa there. You'll be trekking along the riverside, having the great view of Himalayas. This is the Everest you will see from there. So it's quite nice day, that one. It's less difficult than the earlier day. But anyway, you will get a little bit higher elevation. So you will always have to stop after a few minutes of walking because you feel tired a little bit. So Let's go. This is the village called Dingbuti. So it's a nice Sherpa village having the great view of Himalayas. So you'll be trekking along the here and sleeping one of the guest houses a day. This is day 8. We have explored there because it is really necessary to plan or itinerary such a way that you will avoid the climate, altitude sickness. This is the most difficult part of the trek because sometimes people often cause altitude sickness, and that's quite difficult. So you either have to come back, or you know you have to stay there a few days to be able to climatize. So when we make an itinerary, that's the reason we make 17 days holidays, so that you have at least to full day climatized day to explore around, give time for for your body to climatize. So we will go there and we will climb some of the peak. This is Nakangang Peak, which is nearly 5,083 meters. So this is over 5,000-meter peak. So you'll be walking in the Himalayas like this. You see amazing view from there, but we'll come back the same place to stay overnight. So that's just the day to climatize. And when you climatize the explore the Everest, it's not only for Himalayas. So you will also see many flora and fauna there. So this is wild goat there. This is basin. So this is nestled bird of Nepal, and this is different kind of birds, rhododendrons, and many other different kind of flowers. And if lucky, you will even see snow leopards, but it's quite hard to see. This is really shy animals, but flora and fauna is really amazing there. This is the day 9 trek to Lobute. You will be even more closer to the Everest. You can see here the porter carrying the luggage. These are only the means of transportation. They're animals and the human beings. So there is no car, nothing at all. So we are not using them. Huh? We are using just like 25 kilo for our porter, very limited. We are very strict on that one because we don't want to get lots of overboarding. But there are many people who are carrying over 120, 130 kilos on the trail. So you will see it's really surprising how much they carry is from one place to other places where we even think it's hard to trek ourselves with having little backpack, but they are carrying 120 or 30 kilos and on the same trails, and going pretty fast there. So this is Lopate. The trek to Lopate is quite nice, not too long. It looks like just 80 kilometers, but because it is in high altitude, so it takes about 5 hours. This is easy day, but because of high altitude, it's still a little difficult for those who are not very fit. That's the reason the fitness is one of the important things on this trek. So let's see what it has been. This is the village called Lobuche. You will be really close from the Himalayas. So you'll be staying one of these tea houses here. And let's go to the next one. This is day 10. This is Gorasep is the last hotel, last village where we stay overnight. There is no other villages beyond that. Okay, so we will be trekking about 10 kilometers on that day, because not to Gorasep, but that day we'll also go to Everest Base Camp. So we'll just go from Lopute to Gorasep, and that will take just about 2.5 to 3 hour maximum. And we will have lunch there. After lunch, we have two options. If the weather is not so good, we go to Everest Base Camp, because Everest Base Camp don't have amazing view like Kalapatar. There is two options. We take a two. Kalapatar is the vantage point, viewpoint to see the Everest, and Everest Base Camp is a glacier and really the base camp of Everest. So we have two places to go. One we do next day morning for the sunrise. One we do same day in the evening, in the afternoon, late afternoon. So we will probably go Everest Base Camp after lunch. This is about 2.5 hours to trek there, and to trek come back also about 2.5 hours. We trek through the glacier a little bit, and this is amazing view you will see from both places. So I will show you this next picture, then I will explain you exactly where and how it goes. So this is exactly what you see there. This is Gorase. This is the village that you will be going to stay overnight. And this is the Kalapatar, the vantage point to see a sunrise. You will be walking all this way in the morning. And this is where the base camp is, Everest Base Camp. So we will be walking all this way through the glacier and just get here and see the Himalayas, all Everest and all the Himalayas. So this is Khumbu Glacier, the biggest glacier of the world. So this is really, really amazing. Once you are there, you will feel something different. Really into the thin air, amazing view, can't compare with anything else. So what we do, we will go there, explore Everest Base Camp, come back here, stay there overnight. Next day, early morning, like 4 o'clock, we go, we climb all these hills to top of the hill here. This is called Kalapatar. From there, you will see Everest even better than from Everest Base Camp, because from Everest Base Camp you don't really see very well Everest because you are just on the slopes. So from here, this is the vantage viewpoint. So, and then after exploring this, having a sunrise, we come back, have a breakfast, then we trek down to Ferite. Ferite is lower than Lobute, in between Dingbute and Lobute. This is another nice village. So this is the village of Ferite. It's almost like Dingbute but different. And early morning we'll climb to Kalapatar, have a breakfast, and come to Ferite. So this day we'll be walking a little longer because we also climb to Kalapatar for the sunrise view, and we'll be trekking downhill quite a lot to get to up to Ferite. So it's almost 17 kilometers on this day. But it is not really a big difficult for you because you'll be going down. You will be totally acclimatized already during that period. So let's go for day 12. So this is actually just the photograph. So the day that this is the view from Kalapatar. So early morning, we climb to Kalapatar, and these are the view, exactly what you see from Kalapatar, the Everest, better way. So Lopse and Nopse. Then there's a glacier. This is everything what you see. There are lots of prayer flags on the top of the hills. So after exploring, we will go to Ferite and stay overnight. And Ferite to Furse will take different route. We'll take other side of the valley. So you will really have good view from there. And yeah, we'll trekking through the memory stones and chotans and all this place. So this is just about 14 kilometers going down there. So that day, no ascent, that is just up to going down. So nearly 500 meters down, but no ascent at all. So this is the village called Furse. This is where we'll stay there. So you'll be seeing all these Himalayas. There's nice Sherpa village there. And next day, day 13, we'll trek to Manjo. So you will be very close from the Lukla. So it's easy going, but lots of downhill, 1265 meters. So, and it's still crossing this suspension bridge, Himalayan bridge. This is known as the Himalayan bridge because it's made by the Himalayan. You will see some of this view. So the yak is doing the transportation. We don't use them. This is just for the local people there. Some trekking agencies still use them. So this is our final day to Lukla. We'll be trekking through this valley again. So this is mostly 190 meter descent and 150 meter ascent. So it's just 13 kilometers. It's quite nice. It goes gradually up and downhill. So not so much on this day. So this is final day in Lukla. What we do, we'll get to Lukla. We'll have kind of farewell dinner there with our all day staff. So this is the day kind of tradition we have. So all of you have to provide a kind of treat to the trekking guide and porters, or making your trekking a memorable holidays. So mostly people give them tips at the end of the trek, offer them some drinks and even some food. And we'll have lots of dance parties on this day. This is just typical food I would like to show you. So how things go. There's a rice, there's different kind of vegetables. This is lentil we give to give you enough protein to trek you. This is we call dal bhat power 24 hours. So most of the trekkers loved it. It looks like probably you don't like in the beginning, but after you start eating them, everybody loved it. And dal bhat is the only food on the trekking holidays in Nepal. These are really well cooked, freshly, and consumed by more people. And this is really goes back into the communities. So dal bhat is one of the best food to try during your trekking holidays. But of course, you will be eating many different foods, spaghettis, potatoes, even pizza sometime, but we really don't recommend to eat, really Western food there, because we want to give back to the communities, because local food are consumed by the peoples, more people, and freshly cooked, and you will never have problem with your stomach. And that's what normally the room looks like. Some could be a little bit better than this. Some, yeah, normally this is how double bed looks like. So there are normally no private bathrooms except one or two night. Most of the bathrooms are sitting one. This is our dining hall. This is inside the kitchen, so they have little heating here. So people are sitting. It's very cozy and nice looking, inside if you go there inside. But they don't have really big heating system like in Alps in Europe or something like that. But we still have little wooden things, but it's still nice. It's quite nice and colorful. So this is 15 days. The last day after breakfast, or sometime if we have early flight, we don't take anything there, no breakfast. We just pack up everything, come to airport, fly to monthly airports, and we drive all the way to Kathmandu airport, Kathmandu hotels. But of course, we'll break for breakfast and lunch on the highway. This is the highway. This is how monthly airports look like. It's just bank of the river. It's nice one, but it's really low altitude. It will be quite warm in the summertime, but October is quite nice time in this area. So this is Kathmandu Valley. The last day is a spare day. So this is in case if our flight is canceled, we need this spare day just to make sure that you won't miss your international flight. So this is the day for shopping. You can use this day for meditations, go for yoga, or spa, or whatever you like. And 17 days is a day for farewell, so we'll farewell you from there.
That was fabulous, Shree. Thank you so much. Really, really good, and just incredible scenery. It's really awesome to get an in-depth feel for each day and what it entails. And I think it was also helpful to give those who are kind of wondering, is this a trek that I'm able to do? Am I going to be physically fit enough? I think you laid it out really well in terms of what's involved every day. One question for you, Shree, and I've spoken to, quite a few people who have trekked Everest Base Camp. What do you think personally is the most beautiful scenic day of the trek, or is it really hard to decide?
Oh, it is really hard to tell.
I've heard this before.
Every
Yeah.
day is a rewarding day. Every
Yeah.
day is a rewarding day. Every day is amazing day.
Yeah.
So as long as you have good weather,
Yeah.
it's just amazing.
Yeah. That's what I've heard from
Of
most
course,
people
the
here.
highlight is Everest Base Camp and Kalapatar.
The
And
sunrise
the day
in the
that you
morning.
explore, there is 2 climatized day. These days are really amazing because you will climb a little bit top of the hill, so you will see amazing view of the Himalayas. So every day you have an amazing day because there is different route, different way, different sceneries. So that's amazing. There is no really one special day that you like the most.
Yes, I've heard that before. That's great. Good answer. Thank you. So I think we'll jump into the questions that we have from some of our attendees here.
Sure.
So the first one is from Terry. Hi, Terry. Thanks for joining us. Terry is wondering, what temperature range will we expect at this time? So again, this trip with Slow and Steady is starting October 15th to October 31st is when it concludes. So what kind of weather can guests expect during that time?
Normally, October or spring, known as one of the best time of the year to trek in the Himalayas. So we don't really expect any snow during October time. Okay. So, but you never know, because during October last few years back, we really had a big storm and many treks were canceled during that period. So people had to go down and many passes were closed. So expect anything when you travel in the Himalayas. So normally, if I have to say, during October time, the temperature during the day is quite nice. So you'll be walking with t-shirts and one windbreaker. So that can be just about 15 around. And in the morning time, it goes -1, 2, or even 3, 5, something like that. So it doesn't go really below minus.
Yeah, sounds like a good
but
time.
You never know. But we really have to be prepared for -10, 15 also. So our equipment has to be really equipped.
Yeah, that's the key, just being prepared for all types of weather. And our friends on the West Coast know that too in Canada.
Wish for the best,
in the mountains.
also prepare for the worst.
Yes, exactly. That's
That's
key.
right.
Thanks for that, Shree. So we have a question from Jisu. Hi, Jisu. Jisu says, I haven't done much hiking in high altitudes. Could I join, or would this trek be too difficult for me? So I guess that's a good question, Shree. Obviously,
All right.
slow and
If you
steady. Yeah, they're I think a lot of people are used to hiking regularly and their fitness level may be great, but I think the altitude may be a question for some people. So what would you say?
Okay, I would rather say this is actually not a problem. If you are fit, you have to be healthy, and you have to be fit. It doesn't matter if you haven't done any holidays, because this trekking holidays goes really gradually uphills without having more than 500 or 550-meter able, each day. So you will have plenty of time for acclimatize. So if you haven't done big treks, that is possible to go, but you have to be healthy. If you're as long as you're healthy and fit, that's fine, no problem at all.
Great. Okay, I've just seen we've had a few more questions come in here. So we've already answered that one. What is the weather typically like? What is the best month to go to Everest Base Camp? Is there a best month out of the
So
year, Shree?
October,
Oh,
this is the month
good.
we choose it.
This is why we
October is
chose
the
October. Yeah.
best month of the year, because October we have a monsoon, pre-months. This is just after the monsoon. So June, July, August, up to middle of September, we have a monsoon. So that's, and after this monsoon, October, our autumn season, actually known as falls also. This is one of the best season because you have really, really clear visibilities, and we don't expect any rain during this period, and it is neither cold nor hot. So this is the reason, and there will be many festivals during this period, so people can witness the festival. They will have no amazing weather, one of the best weather you can get in the Himalayas. So that's why we plan this during October time.
It's great. Thank you. So we have a guest, Aaron, asking, what is the price of the trek, including airfare? So Aaron, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you a direct link to the Everest Base Camp Trek page on Adveather. You can find pricing on there. In terms of flights, flight costs are not included in the trip price that's online, and where you're flying from would depend on, where you're flying from, essentially. Where the best place to fly from would be, the closest airport to you. And in terms of flying in Kathmandu, it would be where they would, that's the first flight before the internal flight would be to Shree. What's the airport code for Kathmandu?
KTM.
Okay, great. So I'm going to send that now, Aaron, and then you'll have a link to the page as well.
TIA. You can try TIA.
TIA as well.
Airport TIA. Just try that.
That's great. Okay, so Maria says, any ideas on preparing for fitness on high elevation trekking? What would you suggest other than doing a high altitude trek?
I would suggest for this trek, lots of cardio exercise, especially. And that include tennis, swimming, running, jogging, cycling, things like that, and going up hills, many steps in the same building or in the hillside. That is another best thing to do.
Yeah, that's good. Have you had guests who
I have many guests with asthma. Yes.
With asthma. Oh, you can see the questions too. Great.
Yes.
How well did they cope with the high altitude with asthma?
Normally, there won't be any problem at all.
Yeah, as long as they have their inhaler.
Sometimes we had some issues for those who had asthma, but that was really prepared well. That was really cared well, because we spent few days there at the same elevations and treated with things, then it recovered well.
Good to know. All right, Ray is wondering how many people are on this trip. So the group size maxes out at 16 guests. The tour has 16 spaces on it. Obviously, if there's a ton of interest and, we exceed that 16, we've got, signups coming in already. But if we reach that 16 faster than planned, then, we could, potentially even look at running another departure. So 16 would be the group size. And I think that's a really great group size, Shree. Would you agree to kind of keep it
exactly.
Somewhat intimate and
like 20 and 25 and 30, and some are like 40 and 50, especially for the student groups. But if you have 15 people, that's really easy to care of to everyone's. and we could be
Yeah.
really nice groups, because when you're on the treks, we are one family. We don't really make that individually. So to achieve this goal, we work like one family. So every porter, every guide, every member of the treks members is one family. So we trek almost together, of course giving little flexibility to individuals, so they can trek a little bit faster or slower. That's not a problem, but we really stick in a group, so help each others. So there is lots of, after the trips you will be good friends all the time.
Yeah, yeah, that is a great group size. Having done trips with more than 20 people or 25 people, I agree. When it's a smaller group size, you really are able to work together and
It is
bond.
exactly, yes.
Yeah. All right. So Midiana is wondering some tips on what to pack. So this is definitely something we would prepare you with. Of course, you'd be given a detailed gear
Yeah,
list,
but
but is there,
stuff we can
yeah,
pack.
that would definitely be something that would be provided to you on booking. So you'd have an idea of, what you need to get that you don't have and what you already have, and we'd make sure you're up to speed on that. Ray is wondering, what are we required to carry? That's a great question, Shree. So what are guests required to carry during the trek itself?
Okay, by themselves they will be just carrying the water bottles, one jackets that could be windproof or waterproofs, or little kind of Gore-Tex jackets, because while they are walking they will be sweating, and even if it is warm, they need to put that jackets, because otherwise it's easily they can catch the cold. So one jacket and little snacks, some biscuits, chocolates, or whatever, and that's all. Not so much.
Yeah, that
And
makes
some
for
first aid kits, if you need them, just carry this little first aid kit yourself. That's all. And
so a
all
small
other
day
things will be
pack.
carried by the porter. It's just a very small day pack, will be 2-3 kilo maximum.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people
If
are
someone wants to
exhaling when
travel,
hearing
they
that.
can carry more. That is not a problem.
Yeah. Great. We have Erin asking, does she need insurance for this trek? Yes, so definitely
Good, yes.
on all trips, adventure-based active trips, insurance is a must. So that would be travel medical insurance. Of course, we would bring you up to speed on exactly what the guidelines would be for that coverage. We also would highly recommend purchasing trip interruption, trip cancellation insurance as well. But as a baseline, travel medical is 100% required, and you just show proof of that on day one of the tour with your guide. Stephanie's wondering, what month has the warmest weather on the Everest Base Camp Trek?
This May could be warmest month. That's the reason why all the slot climbers for Everest try for the May month. But during May, it won't be really good visibility. Spring. We don't have very good visibility.
Yeah, that's the toss-up I've heard as well.
Yeah.
I will send you that link, Ray. Yes, I will send that to you in just a moment. Erin says, thank you from Toronto. Okay, Nancy says, are trekkers just carrying a day pack? What size to carry requirements for the day? So yeah, we've explained that. It's a small day pack, no size
5
requirements
kilos
really.
bag, day bag, 2 to 3, 4 kilo maximum.
Just enough to carry your own little bits and bobs.
Exactly.
Are trekkers just carrying? Okay, that we've answered that one as well. Bogdan is wondering, would the trip include some walks around the actual base camp area?
Okay, because what we do is we don't really go hike for first camp or high camp or things like that. We'll just go up to the base camp. So the day we will spend overnight at Gorasip, the last hotel. That is the day we explore the Everest Base Camp. So you will be walking actually at the Everest Base Camp just about 2 hours. The picture I show you there, but we don't go further than beyond that, because it costs extra money. We have to make a special permit for climbing permits.
Mm-hmm. How do you deal with single occupancy? So that's a good question. In accommodations in tea houses, Shree, how does that work?
Right. In Kathmandu, there is no problem at all in the city, but on the trek, we really don't expect people to ask for the single occupancy, because it is almost impossible, except 1 or 2 nights maybe where there are many hotels. Otherwise there are less hotel and more people, so people are not allowed to get single room there, even if they have money or if they wanted to pay it, because there is
That's
no
part of
place
the
to
fun.
sleep. Yes.
Yeah, it kind of brings everyone on the same level and boosts that
Exactly.
camaraderie that you would have on the trail with people, right?
Exactly. So no, but normally we share with our group only. We share the room with
Yes.
our group only, not the other groups.
Yeah, that's nice. So not complete strangers.
Yeah.
Terry is wondering, are we doing any tenting?
Any tenting? Hang on.
Like camping with a tent?
No, sorry. We don't do any
Just tea
camping.
houses.
There is just the tea houses. Normally, we used to do this camping trek only because there were no tea houses, and even tea houses were really, really basic. But since many, many years, people are doing just the trekking, tea house trek, because tea house treks are more comfortable, more warmer, and even if you do camping, you have to camp just in front of the hotel, and that's really not worth. And you don't feel like camping in the wild. If there's no tea houses, no hotels, nothing like that, it is nice to camp, but in Everest trek, not really.
Yeah.
So we don't camp at all.
Another question regarding the tea houses. How about showers?
Okay, we will try to provide you for first 3 nights at least, and last 2 nights in a rooms that has private bathrooms. That's not guarantee, but yes. Okay, but on that case, you have your shower inside your bathroom, inside your rooms. So you will also get hot water there, and that's no problem because it is low altitude. And in high altitude, we don't really recommend you to take a shower because you easily get cold. So maybe after the day hike, you'll be sweating and stinky. So you can maybe just wash with a towel, but not really take a shower in a cold water. So this is how it goes.
Great. Jorge is wondering, how would the organizers deal with a hiker with symptoms of altitude sickness? Say somebody with a slower acclimatization capability. Will that person be able to continue the hike a couple of days later on, or will that person be brought back to Lukla?
Okay, normally what happens is, we fly to Lukla. Normally Lukla has no problem to fighting. We go to Namche Bazaar, and Namche Bazaar is probably day when people can show some symptom of altitude sickness. And if that happens, because we have day to explore there, within the next day, everything goes, back to the normal again for most of the people, if that is. But if that doesn't goes, then these people have to stay there back, because it is not possible. We don't take any persons unless it is, normally normals, back to the normals to go high altitude. Either he has to go down or stay in the same levels. So we can leave the person with other person, because we have an assistant guide and Sherpas, so we can leave with assistant guide. But normally that we never had that issue. We just climatized day at Namche Bazaar and climatized in Dingbuche. Until now, we never had that issue. But you have to think about, even if you don't have until now, this is a good questions. We really have to think about that too. So if that happens within the climatized days, it goes up. If that doesn't go, he will stay or she will stay with one of our Sherpas there back. And if things goes, she will continue the trek to meet us to the next climatized day again.
Yeah, that's good to know. I think that's probably something a lot of people were wondering. For booking flights, what day does your flight have to land in Kathmandu, and what do you depart for booking? So I can answer this one. Essentially, day 1 of the trip and day 17, so that's arrival and departure day, are strictly just arrival and departure days. So it would be a great idea if you have some extra time to maybe arrive 1 or 2 days early before, so you can spend some time in Kathmandu before the trip itself begins. But at a minimum, you would want to arrive on day 1, which would be October 15th, and at a minimum depart. The same goes for if you wanted to book extra nights following the tour after day 17, but at a minimum you would arrive October 15th and depart October 31st. So those are strictly arrival and departure days. I'm correct with that, right, Shree?
Yeah. In case people have a time, please arrive 1 or 2 days earlier, so that give you enough time for climatize also in Kathmandu and rest. And after the long flight, you need a little bit rest as well before you head into big mountains. So that would give you really good times.
It's ideal. And then it also, especially when you're doing a group tour, that gives you some wiggle room. If your flight is delayed or something like that, then you've at least got that base of 1 day of, if you're arriving a little bit later, that you're not going to be late for meeting the group type of thing. What happens if, porters carry how much weight per person? How much weight do porters
We give 25 kilo for the porter, so 12.5 kilo each person. That's we expect.
That's good. Are there any age limits?
We don't have any age limit. As long as they are fit, no problem. But normally those people who are elder persons or senior citizens, they are the one who can cope it very, very easily. And they are the one who succeeded because they go very slowly. Going slowly makes you really acclimatize your body.
Slow and
So
steady.
exactly.
What happens if minimum numbers are not reached, but some have booked? That's a great question, Andy. So there is a cutoff date specific to this trip. If minimum numbers are not met by that date, then you and anyone that has signed up would receive a full refund for the trip. And we would either reschedule or hope to plan it again in the future. So one of the great things I think about booking is that there is really no risk. You're able to put your deposit down to sign up for this trip. If the interest is not there, which I believe it is, and we're already seeing that with signups coming in, then of course we would make the decision to pull the plug and postpone or cancel the trip, at which point you would get a full refund of your deposit or anything that you'd paid by that point. Do we need to bring our own sleeping bag?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Add
You can
that to
also,
your
when you
second
don't
list.
have your own sleeping bag, you can rent in Kathmandu, which costs you just
Yes.
about $1 a day, around $1, 1.5, $1 to $1.5 a day. But that might not be very good one for cold temperature,
Yeah.
and they are a little bit heavier.
Yeah.
So
That's good.
bring your own sleeping bag.
What's the procedure in case someone gets sick or injured and cannot continue the trip?
There's only possibilities because there is no transportation at all. The only possibilities if people can't, if injured or can't continue the trek, to do evacuation with helicopter, bring back to the hospital, do treatments there, and when she or he is normal, back to the hotel again and meet the people, meet the other group when they come back and fly together back home. Or she can do, he or she can, if they are already okay, they can explore something in Kathmandu or do some other extra activities. That is also possible.
In past trips, Bogdan says, I went. One of the guides may come down with the hiker if he can't continue on. I think he's saying, would one of the guides come down with the hiker if they can't go up any further? Or
no, one of our Sherpa will come down.
A Sherpa, yeah.
But even to go down, you have to trek.
Yeah, so you'd have to be well enough to do that.
If somebody can walk, they can also walk uphill.
That's a good point.
Okay. If somebody can't walk, then we need helicopter to do our evacuations, and we will do that. We'll be local guarantee, so we don't need anything for that. Otherwise, we have to pay money in front. But you have to have insurance because then we claim to your insurance company, so you don't have to do anything with it. But if he's talking about, or she's talking about altitude sickness, which is good to go down but not to go up, yes, we will have Sherpas, so he or she will stay on the same altitude for 1 or 2 days. Then if it is really worst, then we have to take down or bring back to helicopter again.
That's a great answer. Do you organize trips only in October? So no, but you can tell them when the season is available.
We organize all year round, but except monsoon time. So even we organize during the winter time, known as the coolest season of the year. But we often had last year and even this year, winter was really good. There wasn't any snow up to 5,500 meters. So it was really warm winter. And monsoon, we really don't operate it because you don't see any Himalayas there. You will see some, but people come, they have a long dream going to Everest Base Camp, see all these Himalayas and, Sherpa villages. But in the monsoon time, you don't get all what you expect. So we really don't promote this during the monsoon time. So we really do either springtime or autumn time, fall season, like October, November, or spring, March, April, May is also a nice time because then you will have lots of different kind of flower blooming around during that period.
The blooms,
so the weather is quite good because it's after the winter season, it's warmer. And you will also see some Nepalese festival during that period.
Good time to be there for sure. Can you arrange for hotel nights 2 days prior and 2 days after? Absolutely. That's definitely a good call to spend some extra time. That's one of the great things about working with Feather. You've got a dedicated staff that are all about the booking process. Obviously, Shree's expertise is organizing and orchestrating, epic trips on the ground. On this side, you would have a dedicated adventure concierge, myself or one of my colleagues, that would be able to get you booked on any extras such as pre or post night. So we'd be happy to connect with you on that. What I'll do once we've reached the end of the questions is I'll just type my email in there as well. And that way, if any of you want to reach out to me directly about anything, you can do that. Andy says, very good. Thank you, Andy. Super presentation. Okay, so Aaron's heading out. Goodbye, Aaron. Thanks for joining us. If the trip is canceled, we get the refund, but what would happen with the flight tickets? These would be difficult to cancel. Absolutely. That's a great question. So essentially, I mean, and how this typically goes is we would keep anybody that has booked the trip by paying their deposit amount rather, up to speed on how many signups there had been. So as soon as we reach that minimum number, which you can connect with Andy on specifically what the minimum number is as a trip organizer for his particular trip, as soon as that number is reached, we would notify anybody that had signed up by email to let them know so that they'd know, okay, at this point, I can book my flights. 60 days is usually the cutoff point by which we would decide if a trip was going to go forward or not. And at that point, then you would be able to book your flights. That's kind of the absolute minimum that you would have. In most cases, the trip is going to be confirmed long before that as signups come in. And as soon as we meet those minimum numbers, then, your trip is confirmed and you're able to go. Andy says it's 6. Great. I wasn't sure if it was 6 or 8. So that's great to know. And we're well on our way on to that number already. So that's great. What is the cutoff date to reach minimum numbers? Since we cannot, I just answered that one. If we can't go this time, will there be contact information to book later? Absolutely. Yeah, like I said, I will type my email address in there into the chat box so that you have it. And if you have any questions about, doing this trek now or, down the line, if it's something you're interested in connecting further on, I know Andy has lots of epic plans to organize quite an array of hiking adventures abroad. So absolutely, I'd love to keep you up to speed on that. And it looks like we've reached the end of our questions. It's probably, yep, it is. And for the cancellation policy, you can find that it should be on there. If not, Bogdan, yeah, I don't actually see that uploaded on there, but I have a whole list of the specific cancellation policies, Bogdan. So I'm going to type my email in the box right now. And anyone with questions such as, cancellation specifics, that type of thing, you can reach out to me at Nadine at fedfeather.co. Either of those work, 10adventures.co or adfeather.co. And can I send you a battery for your wall clock? Yes, please. You can thank the creators of this webinar for not being convincing enough with that wall clock. Yes, please do, Andy. All right, everyone. Shree, thank you so much. Namaste. It was great.
Pleasure having you all, guys. Wish you all the best.
And I know that
see you in the Himalayas.
See you in the Himalayas. It was an early morning start for you, Shree, over there. So we really appreciate you taking the time to connect with us and share more about this epic trek. As I said to everyone, reach out to myself with questions. I know Andy will be more than happy to welcome your questions as well. And we're looking forward to hearing from you all. Thanks so much and speak soon.